Hello everybody, and welcome back to Certified Collectibles. This is another episode of First Appearance of the Week. This is Wednesday, December 18th, 2023. We'll be giving you all the first appearance in your comic shops today. Now this week we have a pretty light video for you guys. I think we only have 9 titles in all to go through, 5 first appearances, 4 honorable mentions, but there's definitely some books in there for you guys to pick up for your collection. So let's go ahead and get started for the first appearance of the week ending December 20th, 2023. First up from DC Comics, Lazarus Planet Assault on Krypton #1. This features the first appearance of a new villain. This also debuts new powers for Mercy Graves. Now, this Lazarus Planet title series is a new title series for DC Comics. It is definitely not one of their tentpole series. This is more of a B series or a subset series. So this one here, it really depends on this new villain, what they plan on doing, this new villain they're introducing. If they bring this character across other storylines, other story arcs, into any of the tentpole series, it may be a bigger deal. This also debuts new powers for Mercy Graves. Once again, it really depends on what they do with Mercy Graves in the future as to how important this book is going to be. So this one here, we do think you have a little bit of time on. Keep an eye on it, but put it on your beat list for now. Next up from DC Comics, Batman One Bad Day Bane #1. This is a one-shot imaging of Bane in the future as a washed-up wrestler. This also features a first appearance of Grudge, an adversary of Bane. Now, given that this is a one-shot and this title series is an offshoot or a subset series for DC Comics, we really don't know how important this is going to be in the future. Now, sometimes with one-shots, they do pull characters out for small screen or big screen projects. It depends on the popularity of the characters they're introducing. But most often, these one-shots, these characters go nowhere. They're just introducing these particular stories, and that's pretty much as far as they go. So this one here, we also think you have some time on. Keep an eye on this one here, but put it on your B-list for now. Next up from DC Comics, Flash #791. This features a first cover and cameo appearance of Miss Murder, a hunter. Now, the Flash standalone title series is one of DC's tentpole series, or one of their stronger series, let's say. And this does feature the first cover and cameo appearance of this new character, Miss Murder. You know, Flash does have a strong collector base, strong fan base. So once again, really depends on what they do with this character going forward as how important this particular book is going to be. This one here may be worth picking up the spec on, though. Grab it if you can. If you can't, though, put it on your B-list and keep an eye on it. Next up from DC Comics, Stargirl The Lost Children #3. This features the first appearance of the Childminder. There's also a lot of other first appearances in this particular issue. Now, Stargirl has a huge fan base, huge collector base, and the fact that there's so many first appearances in this particular issue, this is probably one you do want to pick up and spec on. So go ahead and grab this one here for a spec bet if you can. If you can't, put it on your B-list and keep an eye on it. And finally from Marvel Comics, Wakanda #4. This features the first appearance of Kim, love interest of Tosin. This also features the origin of Benhazen. Now, the Black Panther universe has a huge fan base, huge collector base, and you know, Marvel Disney is still churning out a ton of media for this Black Panther franchise. That being said, this one here is probably worth picking up the spec on. This does feature the first appearance of Kim, this new love interest of Tosin. This also features the origin of Benhazen. So this one here is probably worth picking up for the cover price. You don't want to go chase these later on for a higher price. So grab this one here for your collection. And now for the honorable mentions. From Comic House, Canuck Beyond #1. After being flung through an interdimensional portal, Captain Canuck finds himself stranded on an alien world. Now, like we always say with these small press and indie publishers, if they get picked up an option for a small screen or big screen project, that is a huge price driver in the future for these books. That being said, Comic House hasn't really had a lot of their titles picked up an option in the past. Of course, that doesn't really mean anything in the future. This could be the next big thing. Who really knows? So this one here will definitely be a spec bet if you choose to pick it up. But this one here does sound like it can lend itself very well to a streaming series, TV show, or feature film. So it might be a good spec bet to pick up for the cover price. Go ahead and grab it if you can to spec on. If you can't, put it on your B-list, but keep an eye on it. Next up from Image Comics, Immortal Sergeant #1. On the eve of his retirement, a grizzled detective catches a break on a murder case that has haunted him for decades. But due to circumstances, he must drag his anxiety-ridden adult son along for the ride or risk losing the lead forever. Now this one here is one we did highlight a few weeks ago. For whatever reason, it didn't come out that day. It's coming out today. This sounds like it lends itself very well to a small screen, big screen project, and Image Comics has had a lot of their titles picked up in the past. So this one here, in our opinion, is a great spec bet. Grab this one here if you can. If you can't, put on your B-list, but keep an eye on it. Next up from Boom Comics, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers #104. This features the origin of Rita Repulsa. Now, any of these titles related to the Power Rangers, whether it's origin stories or first appearance of new characters, these are probably worth picking up for the cover price. You know, Boom Comics has had a lot of their titles picked up an option in the past, and the Power Rangers franchise is still going incredibly strong. Huge fan base, huge collector base. So anytime there's first appearance of new characters or origin stories, these are books worth owning at the cover price. Go ahead and grab this one. And finally from Dark Horse Comics, White Savior #1. An ancient prophecy foretold of an outsider that would save the peaceful village of Anaki from an unstoppable army. But the American army captain in their midst is obviously an awful drunken idiot. Now this one here sounds like it lent itself very well to a TV show, streaming series, or feature film, and Dark Horse has had a lot of their titles picked up an option in the past. This one here, in our opinion, is a great spec bet to pick up for the cover price. Go ahead and grab this one here if you can. If you can't, put on your B-list, but definitely keep an eye on this one. So there you have the 9 titles that we have for you guys this week. Definitely some books in there worth picking up for your collection. So please feel free to drop some comments in the comment section below. Thumbs up if you like this video. And as always, please remember to subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Thank you for joining us here at Certified Collectibles, and we'll see you again next time.